Right. I once undertook a self-help course entitled How to Become Taller.
Very hurtful, that laughter, I thought, Ronnie. Very hurtful.
Was it a step-by-step guide?
It was. No, it was a little routine I had to perform every morning against the wall, stretching up, and with a pin in the wall.
Oh, it was literally taller, not just to make you feel
Oh, no, to
confident.
really make me
This is
taller.
going to make you taller.
I'm talking about the real business, making me taller. And saying every day, and in every way, I'm getting taller and taller.
Can I ask you a question? Did you keep the receipt?
Was this done once you were of maturity, or was it when you were an adolescent and still possibly might grow?
I was about sort of 14 or 15.
Oh,
yes,
right.
And it was bought by my aunt,
Right.
who was perhaps more worried about my size than I was.
Yeah.
And so she subscribed to it.
How tall were you at 14?
A little bit taller than I am now, actually.
This is a great book you bought, isn't it?
But surely at 15 you can still have a growth spurt. Like, Julian, you're pretty tall. Like, how old were you when you reached the height you are now?
Well, I shot up when I was 15.
Were you doing it yourself?
Slow.
Were you older than 15 when you were...
I was about 18, I suppose.
So to worry about your nephew not being tall at 14 or 15, that's quite premature to get concerned about someone's height.
But boys do usually shoot up at about 14 or 15, don't they?
I never shot up. My parents kept telling me about my cousin Gethin, who he shot up when he was 22, he got ages yet. And
yes.
it was I peaked at a very disappointing 5'7", which is...
I can't believe in front of Ronnie you're saying a very disappointing...
I was about to say...
His feelings!
I know. So upsetting. That's even more upsetting. When did you get out of short trousers into long trousers?
Oh, what time is it now? No. So what do you think? Is Ronnie telling the truth?
In the context of, what was that, the 40s, when you were a teenager?
The 1944, 42,
Yeah.
Right.
41, 42.
Sort of
I
thing
don't think
might
people
have
have money
believed,
to spend on self-help books. During the war, they're not going to spend time worrying about how tall people are.
Well, you'd think that'd be the time
Exactly when you worry about... We need to be taller than the enemy.
Having said that, I would have been annoyed if they'd have made you grow an extra 6 inches, sent you in the war, got in the trench, and your head was sticking out. That would have been very annoying, wouldn't it?
Now, you've got to get a grip here, Lee, and make a decision.
I think we should go for... You're saying truth. Holly, how sure are you?
I'm definitely sure you're not... That's not true. I'm sure. I don't know.
You've answered the question, sweetheart. I'll go with Julian.
OK, you're saying it's true. So, Ronnie Corbett, is it the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It is the truth.
It's true. Ronnie did once undertake a self-help course entitled How to Become Taller. Of course, lacking height is no obstacle to success. I can think of loads of short people who've become household names. There's Ronnie, of course, and then there's Sleepy, Grumpy, Happy, Dozy, Sneezy, Ant and Deck.
I was so sure that wombles were real, I used one as an example of a mammal in a GCSE biology exam.
How could it be true? How could it be true, Lee?
But which one did you draw? What did he look like?
I didn't draw anything, that wasn't in the question.
You took in
The question was give an example of a mammal.
Oh, you used it, just wrote it down.
It was give 3 examples of mammals, and I said bear, because that's an obvious one.
Yeah.
Whale, bit less obvious, clever. And womble was my 3rd example.
How old were you at the time?
15?
What are you looking at David for?
Let's remind ourselves what the Wombles looked like. We've got Uncle Bulgaria. Yeah. He was like the Don Corleone of the Womble family.
What grade did you get then?
A.
You got A's, even though you think Womble's a mammal.
I should make it clear that I didn't think the children's programme was a documentary. I thought the children's programme, that Womble, was based on a real mammal.
For example, a bear is a real mammal, but Yogi Bear isn't a fair representation of real life.
You're telling me for a GCSE at age 15, the question was, give 3 examples of a mammal.
Look, this isn't the end of a game show. It's not like, and this one's for the GCSE. There were lots of questions.
But surely the question in a GCSE at 15 wouldn't be, give us an example of 3 mammals. It's a bit of a basic question.
Why do you think that is so easy?
Well, it's quite...
You are such an intellectual snob.
That's my role on the show.
I'm sorry, you could have said cat, dog.
That's what...
Any number
Are you
of
stuck for the third one? I know what you're saying. You could say that you knew that they were fictional, but based on a real animal called the Womble.
I thought that maybe it was based on the fact that in real life they made their burrows from, like, condoms and
In reality, of course, most creatures perish because of litter, things that the everyday folk leave behind. So in a way, the Wombles did a lot of bad.
Are you saying that the Womble's message
didn't
encouraged
exist.
people to litter?
Yes.
People sort of said, well, maybe I was going to throw this away properly, but maybe the Wombles can make an extension out of it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, people do dress dogs up like that these days, and so you couldn't be sure whether they're possibly just trained Wombles.
Yeah. But these, in the story, the Wombles that wasn't just poor old bewildered Womble, but someone's put some glasses on him. He's put his own glasses. He's gone to the Womble optician and said, could you fashion me some reading glasses out of some stuff that everyday folk have left around? And they've done that.
Right.
That's actually not true. He found the glasses. He found the clothes.
He found glasses of exactly the right prescription.
No.
Possibly on...
There was no evidence that it was the right prescription.
There was an episode, wasn't there, where an old man had died on Wimbledon Common and immediately the Wombles are on him. Taking everything. His medals, his gold watch, his glasses, his shoes, and there he is naked. It's all about no dignity if the Wombles are around. It's a brilliant programme.
What do we think, Bill?
I think it would be an insult to Catherine's intelligence to believe that she wrote that down in an exam. I don't believe it.
You don't. You see, Go on, what do you think, then?
No, I don't believe it.
Why?
No. Because I don't. Because I think that she seems better educated than that. I mean, I got kicked out of school at 15 and...
Why?
Because I wasn't very educated and I didn't really know anything. I couldn't spell or read. I was doing high kicks and backflips all the time. They got bored of me.
What did you do when you were expelled? Did you just run out into the street singing and dancing and going, I don't need this?
Yeah. I don't need this. I don't want this. I can spell. I can do what? Head roll, head roll, head roll.
I would say that in the history of this programme, we have never had 2 such opposing... That's Bill and Luke.
Well, there we are. It's time, Lee, to make a decision. Which way are you going to go, Lee?
OK, I'll go with my team and say that it's not
You're
true,
gonna say
even though
it's a
my
lie.
gut is screaming it's true. I will go with my team and say it's a lie.
OK. Catherine, is it a lie? Or is it true?
It is, in fact, true.
I was once hospitalised after fooling around with a blow-up toy.
David C.
What was the blow-up toy?
Well, it was a lilo.
Just a normal flat lilo?
It was a normal flat lilo, but it had a bit sticking out of it that held your margarita, like a cup holder thing on the edge.
Where were you? Club Tropicana?
Well, somewhere very similar to that, Ibiza. And I was in the swimming pool, and you know when you put your arms up here on your lilo as you're laying down?
Yes.
And someone came up underneath my lilo, pushed it over, and my arm completely goes out of socket.
What happened to your margarita?
spilt.
How long did it take for your arm to heal up afterwards to get back to normal?
Great question, David. Well, I get out and I'm on the side of the swimming pool and I'm in agony, screaming.
Yeah. All the other tourists were trying to name which tune it was that you were singing.
Yeah. So anyway, my wife calls the ambulance. Now, the ambulance that comes is one of those really small ones that they have in Spain. So when they try to put me in the ambulance, I don't go in properly.
How small was it?
Because my arm's sticking out and I can't get through the door. So the guy gets out the ambulance man, and I'm screaming, and my wife is saying, give him something for the pain, give him something for the pain. So the guy takes off his T-shirt, rolls it up into a little ball, puts it in my mouth and says, bite on this. Wow. And I had to bite on his sweaty T-shirt to stop the pain.
Did that help with the pain?
Well, it just stopped the screaming.
How long did it take for your arm to get back to normal? So it was
no,
fine?
I had an operation.
My client does not want to answer the question.
Once again. I'll tell you what happened. I was in there, and, you know...
Tell you what, there's nothing wrong with your knees.
I had to have the tendons sewn together.
Yeah.
And you know when they wheel you into that recovery room?
Yeah.
And as you wake up, you'll know, as you wake up from kind of anaesthetic, you get really cold, don't you?
Yes.
So I'm shivering away in bed, and I'm saying to the people in the recovery room, oh, I'm freezing. All of a sudden, this nurse, who was huge, big woman, hears me saying that across the other side of the room, and she hears me saying across the other side of the room that I'm cold.
Yeah.
Next minute, she comes bounding across, lays on top of me, saying, I'll keep him warm. It was like a terrifying version of Baywatch.
What kind of unorthodox medical procedures are going on here?
So how long did it take you to recover from this? I'm just thinking, Martin, that if we wanted to bring this to life, to visualise it...
Shall I be the nurse?
Mel, you could be the nurse.
Can I just say, I am only half dressed.
So I'm lying down in bed.
Watch your shoulder now, Martin.
I'm lying down in bed.
Right.
Saying...
Yes?
I'm freezing.
Very cold. He's very, very cold. Please.
I'm freezing.
We need a nurse. Take your chance, woman. Get on. Martin, are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
So it was kind of like that. But I'll tell you something, it was the last Lilo I've ever gotten.
So how long did it take to recover from this injury?
Did that really happen?
Now then, what are you thinking? Truth or lie?
I think it's pure fallacy.
Lie.
I see for sure he's lying.
Oh, yeah. Lie. We'll say lie.
You're going to say it's a lie. Martin Kemp, lie or truth? I think he means it's true.
Is that? I thought you were expecting Mel to press your nipple and it would come up.
This much is true.
Every time I shower, I must adhere to my strict system for drying myself.
OK, quick as you can, what's the system for drying yourself?
Well, I always use a towel.
Weird eccentric.
Well, actually, I don't start with a towel. I sort of brush water off this arm. I can do that 20 times.
With your hand?
With my hand.
Yeah.
And then 20 times that one.
Do you dry yourself between your legs with your hands?
No, I don't, Richard.
Is it like an OCD thing where it is 20, or is it roughly 20?
Oh, it can be multiples of 20.
You're not serious.
Yeah, so like 20 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11...
We know what 20 is.
Yeah. And then the same on that. And 30 in the hair.
Dirty in the hair.
And then I go, and then I think if I'm ready to move on to the towel phase. I think I've done the arm and head thing. It's towel time.
And when did you start doing this?
In the last 2 years.
When you reach for the towel, are there any other oddities, or do you basically then proceed in what we would refer to as a conventional drying manner?
Well, I get the towel and I do 50 on the top of the head.
Right.
And then this is quite a new development, actually. Probably within the last...
The whole thing is quite a new development.
No, but this...
You clearly had some sort of breakdown a couple of years ago.
So now it's 50 on top and 50 behind, whereas it used to just be 50 on top.
What was it about your drying policy before this point, 2 or 3 years ago, that you considered inadequate?
I was getting to a lot of towels.
How much moisture do you hold?
I am unbelievably absorbent. You, one could wring me out like a sponge.
Have you tried that? Because that might be a more efficient way of...
I don't see what it is about this system that is hard to believe or understand.
I don't like it.
No.
Well, no, don't do it.
If this turns out to be true, it's going to be a tense evening.
Do you or have you ever washed your car by hand rather than going through the drive-thru or something?
No, never.
No, really?
Never.
Never?
You're the most middle-class man I've ever met. You've never washed your own car?
I've been to the rolly one.
That's not the same, Miles. Getting the coin and putting it in the slot does not constitute manual labour.
I've only had a car for 3 years. Maybe that's why this started.
Yes, did the purchase of the car coincide with a new shower policy? Having seen the car go through the rolly thing that for some reason you don't know the name of, even though the name pretty much creates itself. That's right. You sort of think, I want to create my own domestic version of this with my hands.
I don't... Yeah. Do you have a little sign when you go into the bathroom that says, stop? Once you get... Do you edge forward, waiting? Stop. And you've got to do it quickly, because you know things are going to beep, beep, and you've got to get out again. So, David, it's time to take a guess.
What do you think?
It's truly horrible. But I want it to be true, and I'm an optimist in life, so I'll say it's true.
Yeah. I can't go with that. I mean, if it is true, then it's really disturbing and frightening and all those other things that you scare your kids with.
My instinct is that it's a lie.
OK,
So
you're saying it's a lie. Well,
yes.
Miles, were you telling the truth, Miles, or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
Possession. Right. Pick it up first. Steady. This is a prototype invention of mine that I'm hoping to release one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Brydon's World of Magic.
Teams, questions?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, it's a TV aerial for the bath, isn't it?
On first inspection, you'd think so. It's actually not.
Don't tell us. Let us guess what it is.
All right, try and guess what it is.
Can you demonstrate how you would use it and see if we can
Yes.
guess? Please do.
Can I come out? Is
Well,
now a good time?
You did. He's cleaning something. Oh.
Oh,
Footprints. He's
painting.
cleaning
Painting.
footprints.
You're painting.
Oh.
Painted a dotted circle.
He's doing
I haven't finished.
Hang on, he's painted a circle or has he cleaned the circle?
He's patting children on the head.
Incidentally, I've just remembered something. This isn't a mime show. Tell us what you were doing.
It's a thing for kids. I got a lot of children, and it's an idea I came up with, and it's just a big kind of painting stick. It's just a silly painting stick. I'm very interested, actually, to know what you think, Deborah.
I think it's
£5 grand, that's all I need.
Oh, you just need £5 grand. Anybody? Anybody?
I think probably
you in particular.
Oh, me.
You're quite well known for being rich.
Quite seriously, all jokes
Do you know how
aside...
you get rich?
Probably not like that.
investing in things like
Deborah,
that,
stop talking to the idiot at the end.
Oh, sorry.
Talk to this idiot.
Yeah,
Seriously? Oh, don't buy into that.
What do you mean, don't buy into it? Don't buy into that?
No, not this. Buy into this. Don't buy into that.
You've been rubbish on Dragon's Den. See this? Don't buy into that. Don't buy into this.
Deborah, what do you think? Seriously, what do you think?
Seriously, what do I
It
think?
wouldn't be wood, like this is a prototype. It would be a gaily coloured plastic, maybe with some kind of laminate cover on it with zigzag. Kids
Would it
love
be
zigzags.
nothing like that?
Well, it'd be quite a lot like this.
Can you imagine if you asked for a Nintendo Wii and Dad came home with that? There's not much you can do apart from do circles, though, is there?
Yes, there's plenty you can do.
That's it. You can do that with a normal spoon.
With this invention, you can do this.
Yeah? Another... Oh, you mean another one of those circles you were telling us about?
But is it a circle, Lee?
Well, it's starting to become a circle, yeah.
You think it's a circle? Wait a minute.
It looks like it. Oh, hello. Do you know what? I'm in.
Suddenly. What would you call it?
4 sponges on a stick.
Rob's colourful stick.
Hey! I'm not falling for this again.
Yeah. Right, what are you going to say?
I've seen a lot of inventions.
Yes?
That's
not even an invention.
not one of them.
I'm going to be maverick here, and suddenly I think it's a good idea. No, I do.
It is a good idea. It's great fun.
I'm starting to look forward to actually borrowing that and playing with my kids with it.
What are you going to say?
I say that I think Rob is mad enough to think that's a good idea, and we should say that's true.
You're saying it's true. David Mitchell, what is your team saying?
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Do you think it's a lie?
A lie.
He's mad enough to have come up with that, I think.
My instinct is that it's a lie.
OK, you say it's a lie. You say it's true.
Yeah.
It's actually a lie.
I was sacked from my job at a zoo when my boss found out I had been taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
So, just to clarify, were you wearing the hats or the animals?
No, I was taking photos of the animals wearing hats.
Yes, just to clarify, were you wearing hats or the animals?
Well, you think I was taking photos of animals while I was wearing multiple hats?
I would say that in the world of oddness, a man wearing 2 hats is no odder than an animal wearing 1.
Can you give us some examples of animal hat combos that you took photos of?
Yeah, I've done monkeys in bowler hats.
Of course.
I've done a hippo in a flat cap. And, well, I was going to call him a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was in the reptile house, but I don't know what he was, but he was wearing a fez.
Were these miniature hats? Can I ask, Rob, were these little animal hats or human
On the
hats?
hippo? Are you mad?
No, but on the thing in the reptile house, I'm thinking a full-size fez is going to just hide the creature.
Yes, but what you're saying is, were the hats to scale?
Thank you. Rod, were the hats to scale?
The hats, well, I mean, to scale is a grand way of putting it, but I would certainly try and, try and make the hat fit.
Right.
The top of a hippo's head is actually quite a slippery affair.
Oh, you've got to get the right hat.
What was your official role at the zoo?
General dog's body, basically.
I get the feeling that if you were going to put hats on animals, you'd have gone for deer stalkers and bear skins, you know?
I didn't say I didn't. We just haven't got all the way through the animals.
OK.
Right.
You name a hat, you name an animal.
Deer stalker?
No, I didn't do a deer stalker.
The
I didn't have a deer stalker. It wasn't a comprehensive... You can't
But you had a
cross-reference every
fez,
animal.
and you had a massive hippo-sized fez.
It was a regular flat cap.
So what you're saying is
saying is I didn't have every single animal in the zoo, and it wasn't every hat. I didn't cross-reference every single combination of animal and hat. I just put some on some.
Rod, where was this zoo? Was this a Welsh zoo? Was it Penscunna Bird Gardens, for example?
It was down in Pembrokeshire, in a place called Oaksnade.
Oaksnade?
Yeah.
There's a chain of Snade zoos, isn't there? There's Oaksnade, Whipsnade.
And how did it all come to an end? What stopped this?
I got caught.
And who was it who apprehended you?
It was the manager of the zoo.
As a zoo owner and manager, I wouldn't have been offended. I can't see anyone being offended by a fez on a snake and a flat cap on a hippo. I'd have been...
Just what the zoo needs.
If it's down there in South Wales at this Oaksnade or something, I'd have thought any little hat on a cat would have done the
Why?
trick.
Because it's a Welsh zoo? Our animals aren't good enough in their natural habitat. We'd better dress them up a bit. You racist bastard.
What do you think?
Well, I'll ask my team first. I mean, I've never heard of Oaksnade Zoo. Have you ever heard of Oaksnade Zoo?
Is that the most you doubt about that? Okay, cap on a hippo. Oaksnade Zoo. Not having it.
My girlfriend owns a zoo. We tour zoos, and Oaksnade's never been on our agenda.
Oaksnade, the zoo that shares a syllable with Whipsnade. I think Mackenzie's right. That's the chink in the otherwise impenetrable armour of plausibility. That Oaksnade Zoo doesn't exist. I think we're very happy to say lie.
You're saying it's a lie, so, Rod, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
Well, chaps, I'm afraid I was telling a lie.
One of the codes I live my life by.
Always a good start.
Is that my appearance should be in no way noteworthy. But then again, not so unnoteworthy as to be in itself noteworthy.
What do you think?
Well, if it is true, you're certainly carrying it off. When did you decide on this code?
It didn't happen suddenly. It just, you know...
It sort of developed.
The way I felt comfortable being sort of gradually formed into the philosophy, and I don't think that's too grandiose a term, that I have read off a card for you today.
I would say since you've got a beard, you have become more noteworthy.
The answer to that is I've enjoyed growing a beard. But you're right, because I've grown a beard, some people have said, oh, I see you've grown a beard, or he's got a beard, look at his beard. And I hate those moments. Can I just put you up on the point? I deeply hate those moments of being physically noticed.
Have you really enjoyed growing a beard?
Well, that's what's so odd. I mean, I haven't, like, hugely enjoyed it. It's not been like a brilliant roller coaster. but it's just very, very slightly I've enjoyed it. And very slightly also I've had a sense of achievement. Of course, it is no achievement. It's actually a failure in personal hygiene. but it feels like an achievement.
But you surely went through the difficult itchy stage.
I did go through this.
No one enjoys that?
No. I call them my teens.
Do you make these rules about everything? Are the underpants you're wearing unnoteworthy enough to be you know what I'm saying? Are they?
No, I don't think...
Sorry, let's start again. Are you wearing underwear?
Yes.
OK.
And I don't want to sound too sexy, but yes.
Oh.
I don't want to sound too sexy, but no. Under my underwear, I'm naked.
Oh. David, I want to know not what you consider noteworthy. I want to know what you consider so unnoteworthy that it becomes noteworthy.
A grey tie. If you were in a suit, like you're in a suit-wearing scenario, and you wore a grey tie, that would be so unnoteworthy as to be in itself noteworthy.
So a grey tie...
It could be so colourless, so not wanting to draw the eye, it would draw the eye. It's how you spot spies, isn't it? People who are just trying to blend in so much, they blended in so much they're noticeable.
It's true.
Like a chameleon. If there was a chameleon in here, it would stand out.
I'll tell you what, if there was a comedian in here, it'd stand out.
It's a worrying round of applause on the subject of our
Is it true or is it a lie? Make your decision.
I think it's true. I think it's very plausible that David would be like that, yeah.
OK.
Yeah, I think it's true.
True?
I'll go with my team and say it's true.
All saying true. David, truth or lie?
Yes, well, of course it's true.
I can smell if there is a dead fly in the room. Can I just say, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I can smell a dead fly in the room.
So, it's what you're saying, that if there isn't a dead fly in the room, you have no sense of smell?
No, that's not what I'm saying. And you know damn well that's not what I'm saying, David. No, I can smell if there is a dead fly in the room. I can smell the dead fly.
So is there a dead fly in here?
Hold on. No, I can't smell a dead fly in this room, obviously. This is what we call a normal-sized room.
I see.
OK, well...
a room in my house.
How do you prove this? Do you actually sniff it out? Can you actually, like a sniffer dog, you actually find the dead fly with your nose? Or you just go...
No. I never told you I could find them.
You can't locate it, you just know it's somewhere within the walls.
Well, not within the wall.
I'm not talking about flies that might have been killed by a serial killer and then sort of plastered in.
Yeah. I can't smell them. I can't smell them. No, definitely not.
Right, OK.
But you can't locate them, you just know there's somewhere in the room.
I can smell if there's a dead fly in the room.
So where...
How can you put it to the test? Because you might have been in a room in which there was a dead fly and you have not smelt it and said there is no dead fly in this room. And people have believed you, and yet lurking in the corner...
It's a good question, Joan. It's a very good question, and I wish that I had a good answer. Just by the law of averages, there's been too many times when I've gone in a room and gone, there's a dead fly in this room, and quite often we will see the dead fly.
What do you mean quite often? It has to be always. It has to be always.
I can smell if there's a dead fly in the room, so I will go in and go, I think there's a dead fly in the room. That's just a polite way of talking, David. I don't go, there is a dead fly in the room! It's a fact every time!
This room talks in
I talk more softly than you, David. I have a softer... I don't show off about my talents. Okay. I walk in a room and I go, I think there's a dead fly in this room. In fact, no, I think you'll find there is definitely. There always is.
What does the dead fly smell of?
It's a smell that I wouldn't want to describe to a friend.
Try. Imagine you're a wine connoisseur.
Right.
It's the smell of a dead fly.
I'm getting...
what are you getting?
I'm getting a bit of wing. I'm getting another wing. And how many wings of flies? Was it 2 or 4? 4. Another wing. And no, wait. There's only 3 wings. I think I know how this fly died.
You've not really described the smell there. You've described the body parts of a fly while making sniffing noises.
Well, I can't. I'm a professional. You're an amateur. I'm trying to say it in layman's terms.
Well, earlier on, I was. I came to see you in your dressing room to say hello, and I had a little look in the window, and only now I'm thinking there was a dead fly in there, and you never mentioned it.
Before you came, and I went, smell of fly. But I found that smell was soon overpowered, Jason.
David, time to make your mind up. Is he telling the truth? Is that whole fly-smelling thing real?
Well, let us pay him the respect of pretending to consider it. You don't believe him when he says...
I do not believe him.
Well, I think lie.
You think lie, you're saying lie. OK. Lee, were you telling the truth, or was that a lie?
I've actually started believing it myself. It's a lie.
I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
David's team.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands.
Yes. Are your hands bare at this point?
Of course they're bare.
Yes.
Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist.
You don't need to twist.
Really?
You just
don't need to
pull
twist.
apart.
Pull it apart.
How do you get the
Pull the
grip?
apple apart?
Won't your hands just slide away from it? I'd have thought you'd need to twist.
If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
So you just grip the apple in your hands and then fling them apart, and you have 2 half apples.
No, I rip it apart.
Yeah.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
Yes. No, David, that's fair enough. Yes.
It's just you're almost like you insert.
Oh, but I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs to try and pull it apart that way.
No insertion.
All right.
No,
but
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure. And there it is.
Yeah. So where are the thumbs? Are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
You know where the thumbs are, David.
Where are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
Yes.
No insertion or penetration?
No, absolutely not. No, the thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was taught. And if you remember that...
The system comes with a catchphrase.
If you can remember that, you too will be parting apples.
How long have you done this for?
I have done it for a long time. What I used to do to entertain was I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I can still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. And you actually peel the membrane rather than trying to... Don't be all rough-handed and don't, take your time. Off it comes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple? How did it come about? How did it come to be?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling, but I can't remember the first time I did it.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Right, David, is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's fine. OK, on to the next round. No, we can't.
I agree with that. I'd love to see him... I hope it's true, because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If it's not true,
Make
will
him
they
do
make
it
him
anyway.
try?
So what's it going to be?
Oh, I really want it to be true, but it isn't true, I don't think.
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't just rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
If you and I can't, sure.
And I can't.
I've never tried.
Have you ever tried?
If I had an apple here, and I can have a few
but I
goes.
think if those two can't do it, David, with the greatest respect, it's highly unlikely you're going to pull it off.
Tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost. So you think it's a lie, then?
I'm afraid I do,
OK,
yeah.
well, I'll go with the giants.
You're going to say it's a lie? All right, you're saying it's a lie. Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes.
Do it.
Well, guess what I've got under the desk? My trusty box of apples. It's a proper apple. Ready,
Yes.
Bob?
It's a big one.
Thank you. Not you, him.
Does your husband play cricket?
I love that sort of thing. Wait, where shall I do it?
I really hope he can't do it.
I once had a snog with one of the people here on Would I Lie to You Tonight?
Whoa! One of us 6. Yeah, 6. You...
Hang on a minute, I'm here as well.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, you're one of them.
She didn't snog herself.
That's true. That's true. Oh, God. Oh, my word. I think my poor grasp of mathematics has never been more cruelly exposed.
So one of us 6 people... Why am I saying one of us 6? I know it wasn't me. One of them 5. Was it you?
It's true.
No, I'm Spartacus.
You see, I definitely...
It's very awkward if all 6 of us have snogged.
But she could only remember one.
If it's true, will the person remember, or is it like a drunken thing, or...?
I don't know if they will remember.
This is getting awkward. If this is true, this could be very awkward.
I don't know.
How many years ago?
I think it was in 98, so 15 years ago.
Just a snog.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Were.
going to be David at university, isn't it?
Why, did they go to university together?
They're both Cambridge, aren't they?
We did.
Yes.
And were you in the same...
No,
The plot thickens.
David is quite a lot younger than me, so...
But were you still
make it a
hanging
bit
around the
difficult.
university?
trying to prey on freshers in Freshers Week. What you haven't said yet, Mel, is you haven't really painted a lovely picture for us of the circumstances, where you were.
Yeah.
Just talk us through that.
It was a works do.
Not me. I've never worked in my life.
It was a works do, and everyone had been working very, very hard. It was a long series, and it was the end of term party.
Stop
end of
looking
series
at me,
party.
Mel.
What was the series?
It was the England rugby team 2000.
Was there test series?
It was a show back in the late 90s.
Was it Late Lunch?
It was called Late Lunch.
So the show you did, Late Lunch, was the person you kissed a guest on the show, or were they a regular on it, or...?
No, we were colleagues.
This is a totally new type of round.
This is...
You stop trying to work out whether it's true or not, just who it
was.
Yeah. Who was it?
Wait, who was it that you kissed? Was it Rob? Please tell me when you kissed him he didn't do that. Who was it that you kissed?
Dermot. It was Dermot.
Dermot?
It was Dermot.
Wow. This is a weird one now, because if it's not true, poor Dermot now has got to answer all these questions.
I don't think you're allowed to question other panellists.
Oh, well, this is
not his card.
No, we're in new territory. This has never happened before.
Rob, my proclamation is thus. You can quiz O'Leary. However, he doesn't have to answer unless he so chooses.
Well, to be fair, that's true with everyone. We're going to be legally required to speak. If you want to make people talk when they don't want to, you have to waterboard them.
I'm happy to waterboard him if you want to...
Mel, what was Dermot doing in this show?
Dermot was the guy responsible for getting the audience in.
Has Dermot said if he remembers this?
Dermot, do you remember this?
That would scupper my team's chance. I can't answer that.
Yeah, oh, that's handy. You mean no? So you were working on...
I was working on London.
What was your position?
I was sort of audience researcher, so...
Oh, that's handy. Just what she just said, yeah? In 1998, were you in a relationship, or is it OK to push you on this?
I'm not sure.
You said at the time, Dermot, that you weren't in a relationship.
Oh, well, he can't have been then.
Yeah.
OK.
So what are you going to say then, Lee? What are you thinking?
That's an interesting one, this, isn't it? What do you think?
It feels
plausible.
Do you think?
It's plausible.
It is plausible.
Definitely plausible.
I just think O'Leary's been too kind of reticent on the details and the facts.
Yeah, but he could be awkward because he doesn't remember, or he remembers very well and he's trying to play for his team.
Gentleman doesn't tell.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
Based on O'Leary.
Matt, what are you thinking on this?
I'm not sure. I don't think the dates fit. Lie.
Well, go with lie then.
You're saying it's a lie?
I think it might be true, but I'm going with my team and saying lie.
Mel, it was a wonderful, wonderful tale. Was it true, or were you telling a lie?
Well, Rob, gents, Dermot, I was telling the truth.
Possession.
There's a box under the desk. Just pop the box on the desk, and then there's a card inside it. Before you take out the possession, just read the card, please.
This is one of the pairs of leg warmers for birds that I have made. I would have brought more, but birds are using them.
Could you show us these leg warmers?
I live beside the canal, and the swans are very unhappy around there.
The swans? You've tried to put a leg warmer on a swan?
He hasn't tried to, he succeeded.
How the hell do you... A swan? So they're trying to feed it over the webbing, and he doesn't get crushed. It's got a great big beak on us.
Everyone knows about this, but if you befriend the swan... The first thing, you befriend the swan when the wings go up like that, and then generally the next thing they go like that, as in make me leg warmers. That's it.
Are they for swans?
David, they would break your arm if you went near them.
Famously.
Famously.
That's what they do. They break your arm and then the Queen eats them.
Yes.
How do you get them over the feet?
If you put your hand like that and then try and get it over there. It's like O.J. Simpson. Stick it on there. That's a swan.
That's a swan, folks.
That's a swan. With the swan, it's all about authority. So watch this.
No,
webbed. They're That's webbed.
no good.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt the swan. You've just ripped through its webbing.
You know when you said swan at the beginning?
Yeah.
Did you mean sparrow? David, it's time to take a guess. I mean, I don't know which way you're going to go on this.
Maybe a swan could be able to slip that over its foot, and maybe a swan would derive tremendous warmth from this incredibly thin and flimsy and short piece of material going an inconsiderable distance up its really rather long leg.
I think it's true.
Don't say that! Don't, because that's the sort of... That's what happens to your mind in this game. You say, and you start thinking, oh, yeah, of course, the fact that he said swan and it seems impossible is exactly what's so plausible about it.
If you people don't start taking this a bit more seriously, I'm going to bring my Uncle Ian out here again.
So what are you going to go for?
I think we're going to say lie.
Lie? You're saying it's a lie.
I'd just
David
like to say,
O'Doherty.
Rob.
Yes.
If it's true.
Yes.
I don't care.
David, truth or lie?
I'm afraid my tale of swan leg warmers is a lie.
Oh, thank God. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Yes, it's a lie. David doesn't make leg warmers for birds.
For 3 weeks, I was listed as a missing person by Interpol.
Wow.
When did this happen?
In the mid-90s.
Where were you? Had you actually disappeared?
I was in Morocco.
What were you doing there?
I was on a bike ride in Spain.
You were on a bike ride in Spain in Morocco.
Can I have a moment to chat with my client?
What happened was I met someone in Spain on a train. A Moroccan
So hang on,
man.
was this bike ride in Spain happening on the train? Was it was like, because I know that you get those Spanish bike rides on trains in Morocco. It's probably one of those.
No, there was bad weather, and that's why I took the train from the north of Spain to the south of Spain, because apparently, according to the local newspaper, there was better, more agreeable bicycling weather.
How did you then get into Morocco, though?
That is because I met that Moroccan bloke on the train.
Which Moroccan bloke?
Yeah, does he have a name?
I can't quite remember, but it was Mohammed or something.
Mohammed the Moroccan, you met on the train in Spain.
He asked me if I wanted to join him to go to Morocco. And then I thought, well, I've never been outside Europe. In for penny, in for pound. So
you were picked up by a strange Moroccan on a train and agreed to go back to Morocco with him.
What's the worst that can happen?
How did you find out that you were on the Interpol list?
I realised only once I rang my parents, once I was back in Spain. And I rang my parents, and for them it was like someone found them from beyond the grave.
So why didn't you ring your parents from Morocco?
Because that man, that Mohammed,
You remember Mohammed, don't you?
Yeah.
He was the man on the train.
The Moroccan on the train.
The Moroccan on the train who invited him back to his house.
So and then when I was staying with Mustafa and his family...
From what port did you leave Spain, and into which port did you enter Morocco?
Question. Well, we left Spain, if I remember correctly, from Algeciras and went over to Ceuta, which is one of the 2 Spanish enclaves in the north of Morocco.
Good answer.
I think you've just clutched victory from the jaws of defeat.
How was it then resolved? How did you end up getting off of the list?
Well, hang on a minute, we're jumping ahead here.
Yeah.
What the hell
He's
did
allowed
you
to do
in
that,
Morocco?
isn't he?
What were you doing?
I was travelling
Mohammed. My client is getting mixed up because at passport control they said you must have a passport. And he's getting a bit mixed up with the names.
I'm curious as to the fact that Interpol has a missing persons list.
Yeah, no, what happened is my parents got involved and they got Interpol involved.
Right.
And I sent a few postcards, one of them, to my friend Mack. And on that postcard I wrote, I've joined the Foreign Legion. Probably see you never again, have a good life or something. And then, Mack being a quite clever boy, so, OK, with this postcard I can have a lot of fun. I go round Henning's parents and say them something along the lines of, Herr Wehn, Frau Wehn, you might be interested in this.
Sorry, so your friend Mark...
Yes.
...used this postcard to mentally torture your parents. I'll make his parents think he's disappeared forever for a laugh.
Where's German sense of humour?
What do we know about this Moroccan chap who we're calling Mohammed?
He hadn't been home for many, many years, and so we couldn't take the boat straight to Morocco. We had to go to one of the Spanish enclaves because he had to collect a suitcase full of books from a cafe in Ceuta.
Why did he have a suitcase full of books?
Because someone left them there for him.
But why books in a suitcase?
Well, it was back in the mid-90s, people were still reading.
So he went to a cafe in the Spanish enclave of Morocco to collect a suitcase which he told you was full of books.
Well, I suppose a friend of his left them there.
Yes, but
why? I mean, you know what it sometimes is like, isn't it? Like, well, I can't quite think of an example.
But if he could, it would be like that.
Yeah. This Interpol list that you were on, can you just elaborate on how your parents got you onto it?
Well, they rang the consulate, and they rang all sorts of...
Which consulate?
The German one.
Which German consulate?
Well, the one in Morocco.
They didn't ring the police, they rang the German consulate in Morocco.
Well, that's how you would go about it, wouldn't you? It's no good ringing your local bobby.
And what happens then with the list? Do you just... They have to tell Interpol, stop looking for Henning. We found
I suppose so, yeah.
Well, did they? For all we know, they're still looking for you now.
I'm safe!
So what do you think, David? Does any of that have the ring of truth, or has he made all that up?
What do you think, Kirsty?
I think it's so odd and inconsistent and unlikely that it must be true.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards as well.
I think that as well. I think it's true.
Yeah. Henning, was that the truth, or were you telling a lie?
Well, this story is true.
Yes, it's true. Henning was listed as a missing person by Interpol. Next.
I once hid a girl in my bed whilst my entire family came into the bedroom to have a conversation with me.
Right, Lee.
Now, how old were you?
I was 18.
And a bit of a nervy question. How
15.
old was she?
No, she was... she wasn't. She was of age.
Of age?
Yeah. 44.
65.
No, she was just of a normal age.
She mean a normal age?
It's a normal age.
It's a bit ageist, isn't
For
it?
an 18-year-old
Are you saying that Rob's abnormal?
Well, yeah, if Rob was in my bed, it would be a bit weird, but...
Actually, a lot easier to hide him. Just pop him in the pillowcase, throw him over your shoulder, off you go.
So, you'd had a lovely tender time with this young lady. The next morning arrived the start of a whole new dawn, and she was secreted, hidden, under the duvet.
My dad comes in, and I say, "Get under there."
Under there.
What did your dad say? No,
Who's this I've just found?
don't want to have an awkward moment with my dad introducing him to this girl, so I said, why don't you just hide under there?
Was she a very thin girl? Because I would have thought you would have seen a body under a duvet.
Yeah. You see, you don't understand the kind of toggage that I'm rocking back at home. It's a very thick duvet. Plenty of...
Was it winter?
Duvet to hide.
It was winter.
But
there's nothing worse than a heavy tog in the summer.
Oh, I hate it. But I have 2 duvets within the thing, and then I take one out.
So do I. I take one away for the summer.
Yeah.
Stick it back on for the winter. It's a lovely way of doing
It's
it.
so good.
I'm sure.
God, is it always this boring, this show? I'm just going to cut to the chase here. You two, watch him very carefully while I ask this question. What was her name?
Yeah, well, that's no proof. I can't say on TV.
Why? Oh, very good.
I want to protect her modesty.
But do your whole
as I
family
did
come
on
into
that
your
morning.
bedroom often?
Oh, nice.
Do they just go, morning?
My dad
All
will
of
always
you,
come
yeah.
into my room,
Yeah.
and he always brings in the Telegraph and reads to me little extracts that he's found.
And then your mum's behind him, and then your brother and sister, can we listen?
What happened this one morning was that my dad had received a round robin, so he came in to read me this letter. I said hide under the duvet. Then my mum came in with a cup of tea, and my dad was reading this letter, so he was like, oh, Molly, Barnaby, why don't you come in as well?
Sounds like a rough family.
So they were all around the bed, and she was sort of hidden under there. It was quite a long letter as well, so I had to keep sort of giving her a bit of air. And then
you were doing that, were you?
Yeah.
Is it a single bed or a double bed?
It's one of these ones that's like a small double bed.
Well, they're called single beds.
It was, yeah, it wasn't.
Is this the first time that had happened? Had you never been in that situation before? Or?
I'd brought a girl back before, but I'd been very careful to sort of sneak her out in the morning. I'd like distracted my dad, and then you just go,
so
go.
That was the plan. The plan was you were going to sneak her out without anyone noticing.
Through the laundry chute?
I didn't know what a laundry chute is. The butler normally just takes it from the room.
Sorry.
No, but I was planning on sort of sneaking out and not having to deal with this situation. Yeah. And at the end, she was under there for too long. I had to let her out. Not let her out. That sounded like she wanted to be there initially.
The only way you can conceal someone lying under a duvet is to lie on top of them in exactly the same body shape that they are.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I was sort of, sort of over her.
What the hell are you doing?
No, I just so I could, I had a bit of my body on her.
I don't like humans touching me.
Just a bit of...
All right, so what do you think, Lee?
OK, I think... Well, sorry, Jim.
True, I think.
You think it's true?
I'm borderline true, yeah, true.
Borderline true. Go on, then. We'll go with true.
You're going to say true? OK. Jack Whitehall, were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It is a true.
Scandalous.
Yes, it's true. Jack did once hide a girl in his bed whilst his family came into the bedroom to have a conversation with him. It's David.
Once a week, I love to eat a full English breakfast, but can only do so if I'm entirely stripped to the waist.
Lee's team, what do you think?
Once a week, you say?
Yeah.
Any particular day of the week?
At the weekend, usually a Saturday or a Sunday.
Do you know what the weekend is, David?
Mm-hmm.
Do you cook it, Nate? Do you cook it in that state of undress, or do you get undressed once it's cooked?
I get undressed once it's cooked. But, there's a limit to the amount of undressing required. I mean, I take my top off.
Boxers or...
No, it's...
I think it's waist up, I think you said.
That's the... Yes.
Waist up, yes.
It would be odd if he had a breakfast...
From the waist down, he's strip naked.
That would be odd if you went round to his house and said, thank you, David, for the sausage and beans. We're not done yet.
Yeah. No, that's...
Get them off!
Yeah. And none of you are going to ask why?
I am about to ask.
Oh, good.
What on God's earth function does taking your top off play in this breakfast?
In many ways, I've lost a lot of self-respect.
You have.
Over the years, and sometimes I like to wallow in that.
In that case, we think it's true.
I do find there's a certain amount of splatter involved in the eating of a full
Is this
English.
getting sexual?
Not from my body.
Is this on your own, or would someone join you?
More usually on my own, but I wouldn't...
Would you like someone to join you?
I don't think so, really.
I'm not offering.
Can I ask you a question? Gabby, do you like a fried breakfast?
David, is this... Sorry. Is this for practical reasons? As you say, just to stop the splashing, or is it a lovely sense of liberation?
I think it's partly practical, partly, yes, of course, you feel closer to nature.
So what are you thinking, Lee? What are you going to say? Is he telling the truth here?
Christian, what do you think? Do you eat with your clothes on?
I do.
You don't strip off for any reason to do with eating?
No, not really.
Do you think he does?
Having got to know David during the course of this evening, I rather suspect he does.
Diane, do you...
No, I do not. No.
No, I was going to
sorry.
say, do you believe... I was going to say, do you believe it? I wasn't taking the opportunity to go, do you have fries? Do you want to come round my house? Will you take the top off? I wasn't going to say that.
No,
I was
of course
thinking it.
not.
I was absolutely thinking it. But I've never said it out loud. But now you've brought it up. Do you want to come round on Sunday? I've got burnt out potato waffles. Do you think David is telling the truth, or do you...
I think he's telling the truth.
I think David's a well-brought-up, educated chap.
Yes,
He'd never
no,
do
he would
anything
never.
quite so stupid.
But
So it's
the
not
bow
true.
tie.
It's not true.
I'm on lie now. Yeah.
OK, we have to go with lie, then.
You're going to say lie. David, truth or lie?
Please don't be true.
It is a lie.
Thank you, God.
For the past 15 years, I have performed my own dentistry.
David's team.
So...
give us a big grin.
It could be true.
I know that you're implying I'm a bad dentist.
No, because even very, very, very good dentists sometimes get someone else to do their teeth. And by sometimes, I of course mean always.
How do you do that? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, no, the key to it is I don't do extractions. I haven't had to.
Fillings?
I do fillings. I do fillings, crown replacement. I repair bridges. Specifically, I don't do, so don't ask, Stacey. I don't do implants. I don't do root canal.
Do you drill?
I do have a drill I use.
You have to do a filling, you've got to drill it out first, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you use local anaesthetic?
Yeah. No need.
No need?
No need.
Why, because it's not true?
The situation in my mouth is I have one very long piece of teeth, that white bit there. That's all one piece, yeah?
What?
One piece. Made to look like many teeth.
Oh, I see. So that's false teeth.
Yes.
OK.
Either end of this, I have two, what you call crowns, yeah? Right at the end. At the bottom, I have my own teeth here. As my dentist says, my bottom one's a poppadom colour, yeah? And my top one's a pilo rice.
So who said that?
My dentist.
So this was some time ago?
No. David,
15 years.
I perform my own dentistry.
Yeah.
There's no exclusivity there.
You still have a dentist,
yes,
but you just don't let him do all the stuff.
Yes.
Why is your mouth in such a state?
Because I used to have 17 sugars in a cup of coffee or tea.
17?
17, yeah.
17 in a mug?
Yes. If I had 18, it's too sweet for me. So the crowns would come off. I'd go to the dentist, yeah? He'd charge me £400, yeah, to put them back in. And it's outrageous. And I heard this magic word. I heard him say to his dental nurse, Fuji-9. Yeah? Fuji-9. And I became aware that this Fuji-9, it's actually a luting cement, which means you can use it...
Are you sure he wasn't halfway through a Japanese football result?
You can actually use it... It mixed 1-to-1, the liquid and the powder, it's a cement, yeah? Mix 2-part liquid,
yeah,
then it becomes more malleable, for fillings. I found a way via my TV work to get hold of some Fuji 9. Once you have Fuji 9, you are a dentist.
So what equipment do you have then?
All I have is my Fuji 9 with its little orange spoon, with a bigger end and a littler end.
For the different amounts, depending on whether you want the 50-50 or the 2-to-1.
That's Fuji 9.
Yeah.
It's all done for you. It's done for you.
It's magic. It's magic.
And then
it's magic.
It's like the cement is softer than your teeth. Yeah. So I have a leather maker's drill. Yeah.
Leather maker's drill?
Yes, a leather maker's drill, because that has sanding fitments to grind it down. You've got to check your bite after you fix the crown. If you get it a bit wonky, your bite won't be right. So you have to file the Fuji down. Oh, that bite's nice now. That's nice.
Okay, but yes, the other thing you've got to check after doing your own dentistry is your mental health.
Do you not need one of those special lights?
Kitchen island. I've got a kitchen island. It's nice to have a kitchen island, isn't it? Yeah. And it has it's the only place with a big light over it. So my son has a PlayStation seat that's very low back, like that.
So a PlayStation seat?
Yeah, it's a gamer's seat. And I put that on the kitchen island.
On the kitchen island?
You put it on
the island?
Yeah.
So you're up high on the island?
Yes, because then that puts the lamp about there.
And so you're in a PlayStation gamer's seat.
Yes.
Balancing on... What's the surface of the kitchen island?
Do you know, I think it's Corian. It's very nice. Corian was originally what was used for autopsy surfaces. Again, so...
Are you doing your own autopsies at home as well?
Oh, what to say?
Bob, the dog's dead. Bring it in. Bring it in.
So, if I was to say this, the hardest thing is somewhere to hold the mirror.
I think the hardest thing is to sell the story, Bob.
I have the most curved Indian instrument called a samashi or something. And if I put it next to me on my gaming thing, the curve of it, it's like a flute thing. The curve of it goes there, and I can put my mirror there like that. Got the light there, game thing.
Sorry, you hang the mirror on the end of a curvaceous Indian musical instrument.
Yes.
But this is very specific. So what's it going to be? There's a lot of detail.
Yeah.
If he was trying to make this story plausible, why would he say the way I set up the mirror is that I tie it to the end of an Indian musical instrument?
Do you remember Bob being on this show before?
Yes, and it's always true. It's true about the masks in Castle Douglas. It was true about him being able to tear an apple apart with his bare hands. It was true about the game in the gardens.
Well, look, whether or not it's true, and we don't know yet, don't try it at home. I should say.
Do you ever do extractions, Bob?
I've never done an extraction.
Because I genuinely had an extraction yesterday, look. I see it out there.
Oh, they've not used Fuji.
All right, so what's it going to be? I think it's true.
You think it's what?
I think it's true.
So, Bob, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is true.
I once lost Julian Lloyd-Webber's cello because I was chatting up a parking attendant.
Well, David and Tina, a lot of factors there. Why were you in possession of Julian Lloyd-Webber's cello?
Because he had lent it to me.
Why would he lend you his cello?
Well, not exactly lend. I was kind of looking after it.
Where were you, Alex?
I was in Manchester.
Right.
Yeah.
Was he playing? Was he doing a gig or something?
He was doing, he was like with an orchestra, but he had his own solo part, so he played.
I know an orchestra. They have an instrument each, don't they?
Yeah, but David, he had a special part.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
But for which he didn't need his cello. It was he asked you to hold the cello.
This was before.
And go and check on the parking scenario in the middle of the symphony.
This was before the concert.
Okay.
So did you know him?
I hadn't met him before. No.
But what was the great attraction of the parking attendant?
very handsome, very fit. It was a very hot
How could you
day.
tell under a big hat like that and his jacket up
He
there?
didn't
How
have a
could you
hat
tell?
on. They were very modern parking attendants.
Oh, he didn't have a hat on.
I think we need to analyse this story chronologically.
Right. Let's start again.
Now, it is the day of the concert.
Right.
Yes. Dawn breaks.
Right.
Where are you and where is Julian Lloyd Webber?
Julian Lloyd Webber and I are both in Manchester.
When did you meet?
In the car park.
Sound like a true Welsh girl.
No, the car park. I'm afraid the car park is not an acceptable answer to the question,
Right.
when did you meet?
Right.
Because the car park is a place, not a time.
Let me set the scene.
OK.
So, I'm in the car park with the car park attendant.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
The car park attendant is just there. He hasn't got a hat on. He's not that official.
He's just generally hanging around the car park, all sexy.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah.
What's he wearing at the time?
Has he got anything on?
Is he naked?
He's got jeans on and a t-shirt.
Jeans and a t-shirt?
And an
This is just
jacket.
some guy.
Some bloke.
He's told you he's a
on.
car park attendant because he
No.
wants to sound important.
Is that important?
Yeah, it's the sexiest thing you can say. Everyone knows that.
Julian Lloyd Webber walks in with his cello.
With his cello. Which weighs about 4 ton.
No, they're not that heavy.
Well,
Chris.
no.
They're not that heavy. And for someone like Julian, who's probably got a bit of sinew and bicep because of all his playing, it would be very light.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
going
how
to feel
they
heavy.
pick cellists, isn't it? They pick
Yes.
the ones that can carry it. You can teach anyone to play it, but it's the carrying it that's the trick.
Exactly.
He pitches up. He's on his phone.
Yeah. Oh, while
on the phone
carrying the
and
cello.
carrying the cello.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Were you trying to get off with the car park man because you wanted to not pay for your own parking?
It's difficult to know if you're a car park attendant whether any relationship you're in is genuine. Is it me or is it just for the free parking?
Exactly.
Did he just hand the cello to you with a nod like that while he was on the understanding that you would know what he meant?
No, he'd put it down on his side and then just went...
What happens then?
Yes, this is crucial.
Then Julian comes off the phone, taps me on the shoulder. Where's my cello? I look round, cello gone.
What?
No!
It was the car parking attendant.
Who took the cello then?
The cello had made its way into the concert hall.
Of course
On
it
its
has.
own?
The very best cellos can do that, can't they?
Well, somebody has taken the cello, gone into the concert hall with the cello. Julian and me flummoxed.
Flummoxed? So this is not an attempt to steal the cello. This is a do-gooder seeing an unattended cello and thinking, well, I can't leave that lying around. Someone could steal it. I'd better steal it.
It was a good citizen who thought, that's worth millions. It's on its own. I'll take it in.
Why were you at this concert? What was your ostensible role?
I was a runner researcher. So I was working on a television programme that they were making.
That's new information.
You didn't say that.
I'm suddenly coming round to
I know.
Julian's point of view.
I know.
So what do you think, David? What are you going to say?
It's utter nonsense.
You think it's nonsense?
I'm going to say she's lying.
You both
I'm
think
gonna
she's
say
lying?
She's lying, yeah.
She's lying in
Well, I certainly... I think it's true.
Do you?
But not enough to overrule. I haven't...
Oh, don't say that, because now you...
Well, no, it's very rarely that I overrule. At the moment, I believe in democracy.
Yeah.
But if it turns out you guys are wrong, I may lose my belief in democracy, and this could become a police state.
So your answer is?
We're going to say it's a lie.
Saying it's a lie. Right. Alex
Actually,
Jones.
no, we're going to say it's true. Sorry, police state time, we're going to say it's true.
I like that. I like that. I find that arousing.
Alex, truth or lie?
Rob, you should have to take the first answer on this programme. It's true.
Yes, it's true. Alex did lose Julian Lloyd Webber's cello because she was chatting up a parking attendant. Kevin, you're next.
I once accidentally bought a horse.
Sorry? You bought a what?
A horse.
A horse. Sorry, I missed the S.
You claim that you once accidentally bought a horse. Am I right?
You're right.
Right, fine. We're all clear. Under what circumstances? What did you think you were buying?
I never thought I was buying anything. I thought I was renting.
Did you think you were renting a horse?
Yes.
Right. So you paid to rent a horse, and then at the end, when you tried to return the horse, they said, "What the hell are you doing? I've been trying to get rid of Psycho for years."
That's pretty much it.
How long had you imagined that you were going to rent it for?
We thought we were going to rent it for like 25 minutes.
And did they charge?
It was in Bulgaria on holiday.
OK, so what did it cost in local Bulgarian currency?
What is the local Bulgarian currency?
It was 200 lev. Lev, L-E-V. I don't know how you pronounce it, but lev.
200 lev.
200
How
Bulgarian.
much is that in sterling, roughly?
Roughly, I think
at the time.
At the time, I think it was at £90. So we thought it was a good deal.
£90 for 25 minutes?
For 25 minutes on a horse.
But you said we thought we were going to rent it for 25 minutes.
There was me and my friend.
So you were
It was a
going
lad's holiday, we were 18, we thought we'll go horse riding.
In Bulgaria?
In Bulgaria.
Did you question the odd sort of time slots they were going for? I've never been pony trekking, but I imagine they sort of rent you the horse for perhaps a couple of hours.
Well,
or at least a solid half hour.
You get 25 minutes and then the horse needs a break for 5 minutes and then somebody else
you keep the horse forever.
Well, I never knew that.
What happened when you tried to take it back?
The guy explained to us that the guy was gone. The guy...
Never say the phrase on this game. The guy explained to us that he'd gone.
Well, there was two.
Never say that.
There was two different guys. There was two guys.
Go through me if you want to speak to my client.
There was guy A. Guy A.
That's a Bulgarian name.
It's very well known. The most famous Bulgarian name.
Guy Dimitri. I think that... No, a guy A. And guy B. Right? We thought we were going horse riding and we were heading towards the place where you actually hire the horse.
Stables?
The official... the stables, right?
Honestly, even I think he's making it up and I'm on his team.
Bit of patience, Brian, come on. Right. We met a guy on the way who had a horse, and we thought he was doing that thing, in Asda, when you've got a shopping trolley, and you're taking it back, and somebody else needs a trolley, and you say, "Do you want this one?" So we thought the guy was saying,
"I don't need to go all the way to the actual stable. I'm from the stable, so just hire this horse."
That's what the guy said.
Yeah.
So we thought, all right, there was a bit of a communication breakdown. There was a Bulgarian guy trying to speak English and two Scottish guys trying to speak English. So we thought the guy had gave us the horse to ride and come back in 25 minutes.
Were you not surprised? I mean, I've never been on holiday to Bulgaria, but I imagine that things would be a bit cheaper in Bulgaria than in Britain. Were you not surprised that it cost you the equivalent of £90 to hire a horse for 25 minutes?
It was 25 minutes each, so there was two of us.
Right.
So we chipped in for a horse. For 25 minutes each.
But still, even if you thought you were going to get 25 minutes each, that's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it's an hour. You need to give the horse a break, as I said.
Let's forget about the 25 minutes.
Just forget about the horse.
Let's forget about the horse.
That's absolutely, obviously bullshit. You take the horse back. Guy B, who's the guy you met on the way to the stables...
He's gone.
He's gone. No sign of him.
No, he's gone.
So you say to Guy A, well, we hired this as part of your not bothering to actually go to the stables but getting it a few hundred yards away scheme. We hired this horse for 25 minutes at an extortionate rate. Nevertheless, here it is. And what did he say?
We went back to the place where we picked up the horse.
Oh, so not to the stable?
No.
But to the random
We never got
point
to
in the road? 100 yards from the stable, thinking bewilderedly, where has the mysterious man gone? I would have thought that logically, when you were returning it, having thought that it had come from the stable, but you'd been lucky not to have to walk to the stable before hiring it, you might nevertheless have thought, well, the stable's where it's got to go back to, rather than, well, Sodom, this is where we picked it up from, I'm not actually taking the stable. I'm going to stand here, 300 yards away from the stable, go, come over here! point locals start waving, going, no! You keep!
Kevin, look at me. You're taking the horse back.
Look at me!
What happened next?
Come on, Kevin. Come on. Right. So where are we taking off from?
You're taking the horse back.
Let's go back to the start.
Kevin Bridges, for the love of God, please tell us what happened.
Right. We bought a horse. We thought we'd rented the horse. We'd done the horse riding, took it back to the initial place we picked up the horse.
Yes.
Locals explained we'd went to a counterfeit horse guy. It wasn't the official horse riding stable.
This was a counterfeit horse. This wasn't a genuine horse. This was maybe two guys in a costume.
That would explain the 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't only do 25 minutes.
The giveaway was after 25 minutes, I won't win. Right, let's crack on, lads.
So, David's team. What do you think? Truth or lie?
I mean, the trouble with this game is it plays tricks with your mind. But I don't think it's true.
You don't really.
It's got to be, hasn't
It's
it?
got to be a lie.
Got to be a lie.
Yeah, saying it's a lie. Right, so here we go. It really is.
Here's the moment.
This is more than any other episode I've done of this show. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Kevin Bridges, is it true or is it a lie?
It's true.
Unbelievable.
The D in my name stands for delicious.
Obviously, why?
Well, it was the late 60s when I was born, 1969. There are a lot of black men my age around that time being given names like Reginald and Winston and Delicious because... Because at that time in America, affirmative action had just started. So black women saw an opportunity for their children to get more jobs. So what they did was, we're gonna give him a name that will enable him to be, recognizable yet dignified to potential employers. And,
Delicious is dignified.
well, I mean, you have to understand how it's a little different in the black community than it is in your white world. And so, like the name Delicious commands great respect in the ghetto. You probably don't listen to much rap music, do you, Fern? Then there's MC Delicious, Big Papa Delicious.
French Golden.
Where did Reginald come from?
Reginald is a German name. It means mighty or wise power. And delicious means very tasty.
What was your father's name?
My father's name is Homer.
And what was his middle bit?
He didn't have a middle name.
No.
He grew up in the 30s and 40s, and it was very tough times for black people, and he couldn't afford a middle name.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
I do indeed.
And what are their names?
Well, there's Brenda, there's Kathy, there's Oliver, there's Scrumptious.
I don't think people would have thought that calling you delicious would help you get jobs, except as a food. Well, I think... shall we say it's a lie? I think that's what we're heading towards. I think.
Stupid when it's true.
So you're saying it's a lie?
Yes.
OK, Reg, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It is a lie.
So what does the D stand for in your name?
What does the D stand for in my name? None of your business.
The D in Reg's name does not stand for delicious. I did once meet a person called Delicious, but I'm not sure it was her real name, or if the other girl was really her sister, or if either of them were actually qualified nurses.
It once took 4 people to rescue me after I got stuck in a baby's cot.
Please, team.
Right. First of all, how old were you?
I was a grown-up.
Why were you in a cot?
Well, because I was trying it out, just to see how it felt.
Did you not have a cot when you were a baby?
I did, but I couldn't remember what that felt like.
So was it in someone's house?
Wait a second. No, it was in a cot shop.
Showroom.
Yes, it was in a show. Thank you.
Were you thinking of having a child?
I was pregnant.
Oh, you were very pregnant.
I was
at the time.
pregnant, and so I was there, and I thought I can't buy a cot without trying it.
Of course.
Like, you know, you need a test drive of beds. You know,
I'm glad you weren't buying a potty. How did you get in the cot if you were so heavily pregnant?
Yes, good. Excellent. Well, there are ridges, you know, bars on the side of the cot, and I sort of just wheeled myself in, and then it was embarrassing.
Wheeled yourself in?
Well, frontwards. Yes, so like a dive, like a swallow dive.
But those things usually come down, don't they, at the side a bit? You can sort of move them down
That's what I did. What I did...
Oh, wow.
Good point. On the side of the cot, I don't know whether you're aware, they have a little
I'm aware, because I just told you.
Yes. Good. And I just got it down, and I got in the cot just to see how it would feel.
And then did you put the bars back up again?
I can't remember.
You must have done, otherwise you wouldn't have been stuck.
I did. I put the... Exactly.
Was that...
It's like you were there.
And then how did you get out then? Did somebody help you?
The people had to help me.
People.
In the cot. Exactly.
Who were these people?
Well, they were just the people who worked in John Lewis.
4 people's a lot.
Or maybe it's just a good service at John Lewis. It is a good shop. I think you've got 2 fragile things. You have you don't want to hurt the woman who's pregnant.
Cough. Yes.
And maybe mentally ill. And then... and then you have the other side of it, which is you've got a product that's on display. Yeah, it's for sale. You don't want it to be...
Let's not forget the unborn baby.
And the tiny baby.
So what do you think, Lee?
What do you think, Steve? Truth or lie?
I've got a feeling it's true.
If you'd have been stuck in a cot, how many people would have come and helped you?
Well, it would have been length problems more than anything else.
It would have been an odd-shaped cot that you could fit in.
Coffin.
Only head would have been...
Coffin?
The opposite.
Steve Davis stuck in coffin.
Well, would you, in a coffin shop, would you try that out to see if it's... You know, because you're in there a lot longer, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what are you going to say?
I'm going to say it's true.
All right. Claudia, truth or lie?
It is true.
I was sacked from my job in a call centre for repeatedly using different accents on the phone.
David's team.
Who were you in a call centre for? Who did you work for?
I was working for Royal Mail.
Royal Mail?
Yes.
And what sort of call do you get? Where's my post?
It was a while ago, and you used to not have Google, and people used to ring for postcodes.
What's your favourite accent to do?
So obviously Welsh is easy, so...
Would you do the accent of the postcode?
So, yeah, that would... Sometimes you could do that.
So, OK, I'll be the person who
Okay.
needs my postcode.
Okay.
OK?
Yeah,
That does sound like a pre-Google phone, I'll give you that.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Bula da.
I need a postcode, please.
That's nice.
Oh, are you Welsh as well?
Ah, dim eich hyfforddi.
Oh, nothing now, di bydd y Mair. Ac y Mair sitting at a panel ac I got a moron to your left.
Can you give me the full address, please?
All right. 14 Mack Avenue.
Oh, now where's that now?
It's just round the corner from Success Street.
14 Mack Avenue, Deadsville, Nowhere Town.
I'm afraid...
Oh, it is in Wales.
Oh, yes, that's very near Swansea. The postcode you require is S for Sugar, W for Wilson, H, R for Robert, B for Bertie.
That's a lot nearer Wimbledon than I expected. SW.
Well, I wasn't always right.
David, why don't you make an inquiry?
OK. Hello.
Well, hang on, you've got to ring her first.
That's really good.
The sooner this is privatised, the better.
Hey there, hello, hi.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to speak to an American.
No, I know. It's exciting. I just came over here and I got myself a job.
That's very good.
Were you working 9 to 5, by any chance?
How can I help y'all?
Well, I would
How
like...
y'all doing there? You have a nice day? It's so hot here in London, I can't tell you. I'm sweating like a pig.
Well, hang on, it's not one of those lines, is it? Yeah, it's real hot here. I might just get out of these hot clothes. In which case, at the other end, you'd hear, really? Oh, gosh, well, I certainly wasn't expecting that. So how did they discover that you were doing these voices?
I didn't know, but they were listening in to check.
For training purposes?
And so they were listening in for a week on me.
Look, I have as much of a sense of fun as the next man. But
I hope it's not him.
That's very disrespectful to your employers.
They were paying me, like, $4.60 an hour, I think.
Well, work more hours.
Work more hours, save up, you can go on a cruise.
So what did they say to you? What did they say to you?
They took me aside, and there was going to be, like, Christmas break, and they just said, we're asking everyone back after Christmas, but we're not asking you. I should have said, that's fine, sugar, I don't even care. But,
So what do you think? Claude?
No, you have to say it out loud.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
They wouldn't wait a week to fire her. I'd have fired her immediately.
I think it's believable that you could be that bored in a phone centre.
I'm leaning towards true.
OK, you're saying it's true. Cariad, truth or lie?
it's true.
Yes, it's true. Cariad was sacked from her job for using different accents. It's Lee.
When I was 7, I had to be a bridesmaid at my auntie's wedding. When I was 7, I had to be a bridesmaid at my auntie's wedding, as one of the girls who was supposed to do it was ill, and the dress was a perfect fit.
What did the dress look like?
I describe the colour as traumatic.
Why do they have to have a bridesmaid? Why couldn't they just say, if she's not well, let's move on?
I think you're mixing it with admin. If someone says to me, put the dress on, I'd put it on. You know that, don't you? Do as I'm told.
So you didn't display any reluctance to put the dress on?
I may have said, you know, mother, father, I am a 7-year-old boy, despite the fact that I am 2 years younger looking and slightly androgynous. But please, give me some dignity. And my father turned around to me, he said, son, when I was your age, he had a pipe, when I was your age, my father asked me to put a dress on, and I put it on, and his father before him, and his father before him. You'll put me dress on, and you'll smile.
Was there a page boy as well as bridesmaids at this wedding? I was a page boy once, and if another boy had dressed up as a girl, I would have felt it was fair game to persecute him.
Well, true, but luckily the page boy came up to me, little Sharon, and he said, he said, tell me about it. You know, you think you've had a rough day. You know what I mean? I'm a 24-year-old.
How much notice did you get?
Pardon?
How much notice did you get?
Quite a few people. I think, you know, from memory, quite a few people were,
No, you idiot! How much warning? How far in advance?
I genuinely thought you meant notice? How much notice did you get? That was a genuine one. Yeah. Oh, how much notice did I get?
Oh, everyone thought I was adorable.
I've got to admit...
Oh, everyone was looking. I was nervous at first, but then I felt like a princess.
Oh, I see. How much in advance did they tell me?
Yeah, how much notice?
How much notice did I get? Do you know what? That would be embarrassing if this was on television, wouldn't it? I think I got, like, I don't know, 5 hours or something. She was ill at the last minute and...
I just think you would have absolutely refused at
Well,
that age.
listen, I said, Dad, I don't want to do it. And he went, listen, I'm not your dad, I'm your mother. and I'm sick of you constantly calling me Dad. The other one, that's your dad.
How long did you have to keep the dress on? At what point in the proceedings? I mean, did you have to wear it right through to the disco and, you know...
My dad said you'll keep it on till the music starts. Da, 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 da. Because unfortunately the cabaret act had cancelled because of illness.
So what are you thinking, David? Does that sound at all plausible to you?
What do you think, Izzy?
I really want it to be true.
Well, then say true.
I actually think it could genuinely be the biggest load of drivel I've ever heard. It can't be true.
I don't think it's true.
Lie?
Okay.
Yeah.
Lie. Conclusively, it's a lie. Lee, truth or lie?
It's a lie. I wanted it to be true, didn't I?
Yes, it's a lie. Lee wasn't a bridesmaid at his auntie's wedding. Oh, me. I always throw the first and last biscuit in a packet away without eating them.
Why?
Because the one at the top, it started when the one at the top is crumbly, so I used to throw that. Often it's got crushed, and then can't explain why the bottom one.
Do you mean you throw the bottom one away before you start eating them, or just when you get to the bottom one you throw it away?
All right, here's the packet of biscuits, OK? Take the top off with the little bit of stringy kind of wrapping.
Which actually reveals sort of 2 or 3
2 or 3 come away in it, in quite a satisfying motion. The third one is normally relatively unscathed by its experiences during transit.
Which are we talking about?
I take those... Let me talk. I take them out... Suddenly I'm on Bill Turnbull's side. I take them out. The top biscuit is often damaged. I discard it. I then take...
Discard it, what, throw it away?
Throw it away in the bin. In the bin.
Waste it?
Or leave it, or for the dog. I'll put it on the floor in the kitchen. Then, at the bottom, because I'm taking them out to put them in the biscuit jar...
Have you got a dog?
Yes, I have.
Ben, he's not going to say no now. He's quite good at this.
I've got a black lab.
Oh, very good.
Have you?
So, where you do black experiments.
Then take the biscuits. I'm getting them out to put them into the clear Perspex Kellner jar, whatever it's called.
If you're worried about biscuits getting crushed and misshapen and crumbly, why do you put them in a biscuit jar?
Well, that's the safest place.
No, it's not. A packet is like a car park for biscuits. It's all perfectly, isn't it? If you put them in a jar, you're going to get exactly the kind of problem you're trying to avoid.
You think I'm putting them in the jar like this. I give my wife the jar at one end of the room. I then stand at the other end and go, "You ready?" That's not how I put them in here.
You take them out one by one and carefully place them in the bottom of the jar like a maniac.
No, David, I take them out and I slide them into the jar and they rest happily.
What biscuits are they?
Chocolate hobnobs, or ideally, the ones I don't have to do it with, because I only do it with the ones you take out, is the chocolate Leibniz, because they come in a box. They're usually unscathed.
You've just said that you give chocolate hobnobs to your dog. Chocolate is poisonous to dogs.
Have you not met his dog?
Well, now you mentioned he wasn't a black lab when we got him. He was a golden retriever.
So just to absolutely establish, you're taking out the biscuit, you're discarding it because it's crumbled. If it's not crumbled, you'll tend to throw it away, but not always. Then you'll slide them out like some sort of magician on your hand like that. You'll get the jar, you'll insert them in unless it's a Leibovitz, wherever the bloody hell they are. They go in, it comes off. There's one left, it's not damaged. Give it to the dog that used to be brown that's now black. That is what you're telling us is what's happening in your house. You're mental. Of course it's true. You think that's a lie?
I think it's a lie.
You're going to say lie?
Go on then. I'll go with my team, say that's a lie.
Yeah? Lie. David?
Oh, yes, I think I can believe it.
Yes, I don't like the broken biscuits on the end.
Yeah. So what are you saying?
So we'll say true.
You're saying true, right. Yeah. You say true, you say lie. Well, it's actually a lie.
For the last 30 years, my breakfast regime has never altered. I have 1 bowl of porridge, 1 large banana, and half a pint of lager.
Lee, how much do we want this to be true?
It's healthy.
It really isn't. Sorry to break it to you, but porridge is not good for you. So for 30 years, why did you start, apart from emotional problems? Drinking, breakfast?
I had a bit of a thing about staying healthy as I got older. I thought it was important to have a routine, to have regular nourishment that answered many of the needs of the diet fads that were around at the time. And then, of course, once I'd started, I liked it.
Well, where did the alcohol come into it, though?
Well, you can't just have porridge by itself and banana. It's very dry. You have to have something to drink with it.
Are you seriously in a half-pint glass or in a pint glass that's half full?
It's half a pound.
Have you got it on draft in the kitchen?
No, I don't do that. I buy lager like other people do in cans. I don't gulp it down. I just
like
enjoy it. I read The Guardian while
potassium...
You read The Guardian with your half a lager.
Your banana and the other one.
Exactly.
Forget the paper.
So when you go abroad, do you hunt down bananas and lager?
Yes, it's not difficult if you stay at the right places. It's not difficult to acquire lager anywhere in the world.
All hotels do have lager.
Yeah.
But why specifically?
That's not the bit we're doubting, David.
Well,
we're not doubting where you get them.
Porridge is also well known as a breakfast food. I don't see which of these three things do you think will be somehow unattainable in the places you might go and stay on holiday or on business.
Some places you go to, you will find it difficult to find porridge.
Where?
Some of the Greek countries you'll find it difficult to. Cyprus, you'll have, I know, few
I have to say, I have to...
The Greek countries, like Greece.
That's not been... The problem that I've encountered is when I go to stay somewhere in which I've rented a villa or something, and then I take porridge oats with me.
And beer.
And beer.
As well.
Yeah, no, you can order that.
Where'd you go and...
You can't order it in a villa.
No, you can't order it, but
unless you open the back door and scream, I'm a heavy drinker, somebody help me. At 7 in the morning, I've got an hour! I need lager! And porridge and a banana. Thank you.
I have genuinely never been in a villa in another country when there hasn't also been lager there.
In the villa?
Yeah, but that's not naturally occurring. But when people go on holiday, British people, they go on holiday, the first thing they do is they buy a load of lager.
Do you find yourself sometimes on a stressful week having quite a few breakfasts during the day? Were you in the green room before? What are you having for dinner, Joe? Oh, I'll just have another breakfast. I see porridge and banana. And, yes, another little half a lager.
Let me just say, Joan, whatever it is that you do, it's working because you look fantastic. You see, that's how you talk to a lady. Now, Lee, what are you thinking?
She couldn't understand a word you said. She's drunk.
Is it the truth or is it a lie? Time to decide.
I think she looks great, and that's why I don't think she drinks half a lager. Because look at me, I do drink lager every night, and I'm 24. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie.
Let's go for a lie.
So you're going to say it's a lie?
I'll say it's a lie.
OK, they're saying it's a lie. Joan, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. For the last 30 years, Joan's breakfast regime hasn't been 1 bowl of porridge, 1 large banana, and half a pint of lager.
Possession.
Right, there's a box under the desk, Lee. Now, I'd like you to take the item out of the box and hold the object, then read the card out, please.
This is my dibber. I donated it to the British Lawnmower Museum, where it is now a permanent exhibit.
Right. David.
What is a dibber?
What's a dibber? A dibber? That's a good question, David. And would you believe me if I was to say I don't know? But it's a
Yes, I would.
I'll write it for you.
That's... Yeah.
Could be any of these.
Okay,
It's to do with gardening.
So what does your dibber do?
Pardon?
What does your dibber do?
Are you Fred Flintstone?
Answer the question. What does your dibber do?
Not 100% sure, but at a guess, I would say that a dibber is for pushing holes in the ground.
Yeah.
And then maybe popping something in there, like a seed.
I see. How did your dibber come to be in the British Lawnmower Museum?
I'll tell you, Inspector Morse. Have you ever been to Southport, my hometown?
I have, yes.
Oh, great. Can I start again?
Yes.
Right. I have never been to the British Lawnmower. I was online.
But it is in Southport.
It is in Southport,
Yeah.
that's true. And I did see it online.
What did you put into Google that came up?
Well, you don't want to know that. But I noticed that on the website there was a bit that said the tools of the rich and famous. Famous tools, that's what I typed in.
There is actually, I do know for a fact that there is a British Lawnmower Museum because I myself have donated a trowel.
You haven't?
I have, honestly, Rob. I donated a trowel.
What is this museum?
Surely they want a lawnmower.
So you saw the Lawnmower Museum online.
Online.
With a list of celebrity artefacts.
There was quite a few. There was Brian May from Queen had given a lawnmower. Joe Pasquale had given a strimmer.
So what happened then?
I thought that'd be a nice thing to do, wouldn't it? Because it's my
Sorry,
hometown.
you saw that and you thought, I want a piece of that.
I want a piece of the action. Prince Charles, he gave something.
This is where the story's falling apart, because one is
No, that's not where the story's falling apart.
But one is asked to donate to... You don't...
I wanted to donate something. I thought it'd be quite nice to have something of mine, because it's my hometown.
So you picked up the phone?
I picked up the phone. You're still doubting my abilities, are you, Dave?
It's not... It is not your ability to make a phone call.
Who managed the phone?
Are you seriously saying that the fact that you could have physically made this phone call means I should believe that you did? You say, look, I could have made the call, I'm physically capable, therefore it happened, David, end of story.
I picked up the phone, I phoned them up, I said, I'd like to donate something. They said, what have you got? I said, dibber.
You knew its name?
Well, actually, yes.
You knew its name, but you didn't know what it was for?
That's actually not true. I said...
So what did you say?
I took advice before the phone call.
From whom?
From who?
From whom?
I'm not doing it if you put an M at the end.
All right. From who?
Thank you. Who's putting the M at the end? Do you know what I mean? No one anymore.
Who did you take advice from?
I shall tell you.
You found a thing in the shed, you didn't know you owned it, you didn't know what it was. Who did you ask about it?
You want to know from who?
I want to know who you asked about that object in order to find out what it was called.
I shall tell you.
Well, please.
David Tennant, or as I call him, Doctor Who.
You asked... You asked Doctor Who. Doctor Who? Who did you ask?
Tom Baker.
There are 7 billion humans on Earth. Please, let's not eliminate them one by one.
I asked my wife.
So, David, what do you think? Is Lee telling the truth or is he lying to us?
Dale?
I don't believe a word of it.
If it is true, it's one of the best acting performances I think I've ever seen.
Thank you. If it's true.
If it's true.
You think it's true?
No, I do not. No, it's a lie.
OK, David, what are you going to say?
We think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie. OK, Lee, truth or lie?
It is, in fact... true.
Not only is it true, but how exciting is this? We've got a picture. There it is, in situ, at the British Lawnmower Museum. Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it, eh? Just a simple tool who donated his dibber to the British Lawnmower Museum.
I have written and had published a trilogy of romantic novels under a female pen name.
Ooh. OK, what's the female pen name, Barry?
Mary Windsor.
Mary Windsor?
Mary Windsor?
Yeah.
And what stage in your career was this?
Early. I'd written, done one book of anecdotes, and the publisher said they fancied doing a sort of Barbara Cartland, you know, a sort of one of those.
Oh, were the anecdotes particularly romantic in your book?
No, not originally. I don't know why they chose me, but I went for it, and I got away with 3 of them, which didn't sell. Obviously, nobody's heard of them. But
were they linked, by the way? Was it a trilogy, or were they, you know, was it the same story?
No, there were 3 separate stories.
Great. So that's all 3 plots, please, off the cuff.
Yes.
Let's go for book number 1.
Yes, book number 1 was a shameless rip-off of Lady Chatterley's Lover. It was about a guy who worked on the estate and the lady of the manor. It was just blatant.
And what was it called, Barry? What was the title of that one?
My Land. It was a quotation from the lady of the manor who said it at a crucial point in the plot.
Oh, how crucial?
On their first falling out. They become lovers, and then it became very tense and something, and then she became very autocratic with him. And it was a very moving moment, if I say so myself.
And book 2?
Book 2 was set in Spain, and a bullfighter was involved.
All right.
The same plot, I'm not kidding you.
Was book 2 called My Bull?
I'm ashamed to say it was called Hasta la Vista.
OK.
I wish you wouldn't go on about this. I'm not proud of them.
I think I want to read them.
Yeah.
And book 3?
1 Year, it was called.
1 year?
1 year.
You didn't go overboard in the titles.
No, simple, self-explanatory titles.
What was the plot of book 3?
The plot of book 3 was on board a liner.
Right. On board a liner?
My liner.
This posh, frustrated woman went on a liner and met the steward.
Why did they stop this? This is gold!
Which one, now that you look back, Barry, with the wisdom that you've accrued over the years...
Yes.
Which one are you proudest of?
The third one, because I was starting to get the hang of it.
The publishers disagreed. They thought you were losing what hang of it you'd ever had.
Yes. What are you thinking, David Steen?
What do you think, Lorraine?
Oh, no. You know, I just don't see Barry having the time to do it. And
I could write those drunk in the morning.
No, we think it's a lie.
I think it's probably a lie.
Sure? Yeah.
Think it's a lie? Mm-hmm. Barry Cryer, truth or lie?
Dramatic pause. Music is heard in the background. It was a lie.
It's a lie. Barry hasn't written a trilogy of romantic novels under a female pen name. I love romantic fiction. And the new Jilly Cooper book features a highly sexed woman who makes love in the strangest of places. It's on the shelves Monday, hanging from a chandelier Tuesday, on top of the wardrobe Wednesday.
One of my best friends at school was a little man I'd made from a slice of toast that I always kept in my bag.
OK.
Yes, true. Next question.
What was his name?
Tim.
Tim Toast?
In the toast man.
How did you make him?
I cut him. I actually
With
figured
scissors?
him myself.
Scissors or a
seconded.
knife?
Scissors.
Scissors. So you got a piece of toast, brown or white?
Good question.
Brown.
Brown toast. Was he buttered?
No, he wasn't buttered. That would be stupid, David.
I was thinking maybe you make yourself a piece of toast, you butter it unthinkingly before you say, oh, no, that was the one I was going to cut out and make a friend out of. And now, unfortunately, I've buttered my friend, but then my friend will be more buttery, which is... The fats in the butter would help preserve the friend from the mould which will otherwise develop, which is going to be the central part of my next question. How long did Tim last before he rotted? And what did you feel when you saw Tim, who you'd created,
I stopped listening
rotting?
about 10 minutes ago. What are you asking me?
I'm asking what happened about the rotting of Tim.
I don't remember a rotting.
How old were you when you made Tim?
7 or 8.
And how old were you when you stopped being interested in Tim?
29.
And what did he do, Tim?
Did you never have an imaginary friend? He was just...
This wasn't an imaginary friend. This is a friend that just happens to be made out of a piece of toast.
Did you make him, you know, in your own image?
I do remember designing big legs because I wanted him to be a fast runner like what I was.
Where did Tim sleep?
In the toaster.
When did you take him to bed?
All right, then, David's team, I think you've heard enough.
What do you think, Gloria?
I think it's true. I'd be very happy to make a small piece of toast friend.
I think true.
I don't know, so I'm happy to go with true, yes.
You're saying it's true?
I'm saying it's true.
OK, Miranda, is it true or is it a lie?
It is, in fact...
Well done. It was a lie all along. One of Miranda's best friends at school was not a little man that she'd made from a slice of toast.
Well, it makes sense now.
A little man who lives in a woman's handbag is both the plot of a charming children's story and grounds for committal to a psychiatric institution.
Last year, at a village fete, I won a Welly boot-throwing competition and appeared in the local paper with the caption, "Fling the merciless."
Please, team.
Was this in your hometown?
No.
Well...
All right, OK.
Had you cut a ribbon? Had you opened the fete?
No, I wasn't there in an official capacity.
Because I'd be disappointed, and I don't mean this in a horrible way.
Yeah.
If you were the celebrity that was opening my fete. I'm sorry, but there it is.
No, yes, no, I know you would be disappointed because you'd want the gig yourself.
What was the weather like?
Here we go.
It was fine. It was fine as in fine, not fine as in fine.
Yeah. OK. How far did you throw it?
I mean, a long way. I'm not an expert on distance, but it would have to be... I suppose it felt like it was about 2 miles.
OK, let me say that from me to you...
Yeah.
Right, I don't want to sound like the Chuckle Brothers, but from me to you is a unit of measurement.
OK.
The Chuckle Brothers being referenced for ages.
Yeah, all right, I don't do the modern stuff.
Yeah. You have just proved that you don't watch this programme.
The distance between me and you is 1 unit of measurement.
OK.
How many Mitchell Macks was it that you threw?
I think... Well, it was a good throw. I'd say 3. 3 to 3.5 Mitchell Macks.
Go on, Mikey! Knuckle in. That's powerful.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thomas, what are you thinking?
I think it's a lie. I'm not quite sure why I think it's a lie. I just think he's lying.
You probably think of Wellington's a grown-up sandal. So.
So, Lee, are you going to go with your team?
We're both saying it's a lie, are you?
Yeah.
Well, we have to go with
You have to go with them. They're saying it's a lie. David, truth or lie?
Well, it is a lie.
Wow. Yes, it's a lie. David didn't win a Welly boot throwing competition.
I once returned a T-shirt to a shop, furious that it had shrunk in the wash, only to discover, mid-complaint, it was, in fact, my 7-year-old son's.
David.
So what did the T-shirt look like?
It was a small red T-shirt
I'm guessing you had recently bought a adult-sized red T-shirt, and you had put that in the wash.
Correct.
But and presumably also your son's identical red T-shirt, but purchased at a different time in a different place.
I got it from Gap, and he got it from Gap Kids. And I just grabbed it, put it on, thought, oh, it's shrunk. I had no reason to believe it was any... I didn't check the label. That was my T-shirt, as far as I was concerned.
So when you went back into Gap, what did you say?
I was in a queue for ages. Someone shouted next, and so I thought I'm in the wrong shop. And then I finally found out that it was Gap, so I got to the front of the queue, and I went to the counter and I said, I'm not happy.
Yes. What did they say?
They said, well, which one of the dwarfs are you?
I'm interested in you saying that you actually put on your son's T-shirt, which, lest we forget, you said earlier is something for a 7-year-old child.
Well, I didn't want to say it on national television. My son is clinically obese. But you forced my hand, so now I've got to say it, OK? So thank you for that. Thank you, David. No, he's not clinically obese.
I know this is probably not the right way to play this game, and this may seem a little bit like I'm helping the other team, but surely your T-shirt and your son's T-shirt would have shrunk at the same rate.
He didn't know his child's T-shirt was in there.
Yeah. Nothing actually shrunk. Steve, nothing shrunk. Nothing shrunk.
Nothing shrunk. I've got my
just his son's T-shirt.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So there's no shrinkage. No shrinkage is involved.
OK.
You following this?
So why were you complaining?
So there you are at the front of the queue, and you're talking to the assistant.
I handed it over. I said, I'd like to swap this. This T-shirt has shrunk. She looks at the label, which I haven't done. She looks at it and assumes that it's my child's T-shirt that has shrunk. And she said to me, are you sure it's shrunk? To which I said, yes, because I couldn't put it on. To which she said, well, yes, but could your child put it on? I said, I'm not giving it to my son just because it's shrunk. And she said, well, if you're sure it's shrunk, then OK, it's shrunk. She went off, she came back, she gave me another T-shirt, exactly the same size.
And what did you say?
I said, well, that has also clearly been in a high wash. She said, how big are these supposed to be, then? I said, well, they're supposed to fit me. She said, why are they supposed to fit you? I said, because I bought an adult T-shirt. She went, this is hilarious. I said, why? She goes, I don't even work here. I've gone to the wrong person, haven't I?
OK, it's time to guess, David. What do you think?
Well, we don't need to guess. It's a lie.
Put us out of our misery. Was it the truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
Yes, it's a lie.
When I want to remember something late at night, instead of writing it down, I just grab an object from my bedside table and throw it across the room.
There we are. Lee, what do you think?
So what's the theory behind that?
Well, I think that if I throw it in the morning, I'll remember what it was that I was trying to remember.
So, for example, if you were lying in bed and you were thinking, I must remember tomorrow to pick up the pillow, you'd get the pillow, you'd throw it...
Have you experimented with slightly easier techniques of remembering stuff, like pen and paper, maybe?
It is quite odd to throw things, but actually, in a way, having a pen and paper next to your bed, I would say is odder. I'd be more freaked out like it was some sort of marking system.
Is that why there's pen and paper next to the beds in hotels? It's in case people want to mark each other.
It's not just for countdown, David. When was the last time you did it?
Do you remember?
No, I was just...
Sorry, what was that?
That was an odd moment, wasn't it?
First of all, we're trying to work out which of the two of you she's looking at. If indeed, was it both?
What happened there is I considered saying something and then stopped myself. I thought before anyone had noticed I'd considered saying something.
And I, comedic effect, pretended that we were sleeping together.
Yeah.
Trust me, we knew it was for comedic effect.
It's the only reason anyone ever does sleep with me.
So no, the last time that I did it was to remember. I think I hadn't done my kids' school lunch boxes, so it was to remember to do their lunch boxes.
Right. Does it have to be something related? So if it's to remember to book a taxi, do you throw a model taxi onto the floor? Is it something that will there be a clue? Will the clue be there as we go through?
The clue is when I'm
doing David Frost.
Somehow, when I trip over them in the morning, it just immediately triggers.
So, Lee, what's it going to be?
I think it's a 50-50 one, this.
Yeah.
Oh,
50-50.
no. Sorry.
What would your percentage balance be?
I think 100% it's a lie.
That's a big call.
Which way are you leaning, Christian?
Oh,
for heaven's sake, please,
I
must this be a festival of smut?
I suspect it's probably true.
I think I'm going to lean more towards Christian and say that is true.
You're saying true. OK, Gabby, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. Whenever Gabby wants to remember something late at night, she grabs an object from her bedside table and she throws it across the room.
I once buried a badger with the banker from Deal or No Deal.
Lee's team.
I know the programme, but who is that? Who is the banker? We never hear the banker, do we?
No, I'm not allowed to tell. If I told you, I would have to bury you alongside the badger, I'm afraid.
Oh, so the badger found out. Is that what happened to him?
What's burying the badger a euphemism for? This banker, can you describe him to me, please?
Yes, I could do. He's just a guy, like you and I. Somewhere in between you
which
and
one
I.
is it?
Somewhere in the middle.
Why do you know the guy from...
I know that way back when I used to be the producer of Deal or No Deal.
Right, and what's his name?
He is called the banker.
No, what's his real name?
I can't tell you what his real name is.
It's on the credits of the show. Tell us.
What does it say on the credits of the show?
It says the banker as himself.
Why was the badger dead?
Yeah.
We hit it with a car, unfortunately.
What were you doing in the car with him?
About 70. No. We were on holiday together.
Where were you on holiday?
Badger Country, Cornwall.
Was Edmund there? Sorry, I'm not part of this, am I? Sorry.
Yeah. It's a good question, though, Greg. Was Noel there?
No, it was a holiday.
Before you buried the badger, did he put him in a box and then there were loads of other empty boxes? And then you stood there and you had to choose which box it was. Dead squirrel, wrong box.
I think it's very sad that the badger died and everything. But
Yes.
why so much trouble to dig the grave?
Because the banker's wife was with us.
Oh, can you tell us her name, or does she work for? Does she work for the Iranian government?
What is the name of the banker? Was this during the day or of the evening?
It was late at night.
Had you had a few?
I had a few, yeah.
So you went and got
Were you driving then?
No, I wasn't driving.
Who was driving?
If he's not going to say the name of the banker,
He's not gonna
of Deal or Deal, he's not going on national television go, I was driving, I was mullet.
I say badger, I mean none.
And then what?
The banker's wife then says we should bury it.
The banker's wife. It sounded like Cluedo, this. Go on.
To which the obvious answer is we're not going to bury it. It's 2 in the morning.
Right.
It's really cold and it's dark.
What's happened then?
So the badger is dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Sad occasion. I'm not underestimating the sadness of it. And there's probably a badger wife and badger children at home, so that's... I accept
Are you not allowed to
sad.
say their names either?
So you checked the gender of the badger then? You know it was a male badger? Or a female badger in a same-sex relationship who've adopted a small badger, perhaps an orphaned badger without a home in need
I think
of
you're
rest?
wildly overestimating the sophistication of the badger community.
But what happens next?
We went back, got spades.
Yeah.
Went back to where the badger lay prone, buried it, said a few words.
What did you say?
Just said, Lord, protect this badger. Or worse to that effect.
If only you'd have said it an hour earlier. So go on, Lord, protect this badger.
I think I said a few words about the family of the badger and gave some words
Tell
of
us the
apology.
word. I want the words.
I apologise to the family of this badger, wherever they may be, because I'm guessing they're nearby.
Yeah.
Put some stones on it, went back home, started drinking again.
So, Lee, what's it going to be? Truth or lie?
Oh, I think it's true, Lee.
Rob thinks it's true.
You think it's true? Yeah?
Patsy?
I don't believe the badger bit. I think the badger bit...
That's quite essential to the story. But everything else you believe.
I believe he knows the banker.
Right.
I think he knows the banker's wife.
Well, there's your answer. There's your answer. We think it's true apart from the badger bit.
OK. Lee, it's time to make your mind
it's
up.
true. It's true.
You're saying it's true. Richard, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes, it's true. Richard did bury a badger with the banker from Deal or No Deal.